These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work out?
That doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
And what do you plan to do
Yeah, I
if this
feel like I
whole
need
dream
a
of yours
new
doesn't
intro.
work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
Let's run it. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, builders and builder extraordinaires? Heidi in the building. I watched this intro like 10 times. I know I need a new intro. Hypnotize. I just like the song, and I also really like the movie. Welcome back to Gaming Daily Live. My name is Icy Gaming. Happy Wednesday, March 25th. We are at the end of March, at the end of Q1. It's crazy. It's insane. We have a banger show for you today. Some really fun topics to talk about, like StarTale Labs raising $63 million. What is going on over there? We need to talk about it. Are games screwed, and what can game developers do? We've got a really good post from Jared Navak, I think is how you say his name, on the layoffs yesterday from Epic Games and the silver lining for game developers. We've got Heidi and Luke from Pixels coming on the show in about 20 minutes or so, telling us all about Pixels in 2026 and their newest platform, Stacked. I've got a bunch of questions. I'm super excited to talk to them. And we got, of course, the rundown of the daily news. Big shout out to you guys for being here early in the chat. Much love to Sam, Heidi, Llama on the Blaze chat. So yeah, I mean, we got a lot to talk about. Let's just get right into it. I'm excited, and let's go. Let's just go. First and foremost, we do have to thank the sponsor of today's show, Blaze, the best streaming platform that I am streaming on. Super excited to be kicking off the partnership officially with Blaze. We're going to have CG from the team on the show tomorrow, telling us everything about Blaze, what they're up to, where they come from, what their plans are, how they plan on competing against Twitch and Kick. Is that even possible? We're going to talk about it. But one of the really cool things that they do is these Blaze-a-thons, where they drop like $5,000, $10,000 like a week in subs, tips, rewards. Just like they're just showering the community with money, basically. And I was like, hey, it's a down market. Times are tough out here. I like money. Tell me more about these weekly Blaze-a-thon subs, tips, rewards. Heidi and Luke like rewards. We like rewards. Blaze likes rewards. So shout out to Blaze. Super excited to be streaming on there. Llama saying nice, but make sure you have runway. Yes, exactly. For sure. No, yeah. So we're going to talk to Blaze about that tomorrow. How can you afford to do all this craziness? You know, what's the deal there? Big shout out to Blaze and YGG Play, of course, all of the sponsors that make this show possible. I'm always checking my mic. I told myself I was going to fix my mic today, and I didn't. So I just hope, Llama, let me know if the audio just gets like messed up. It says that we are not on Twitch. My Twitch says that it's streaming, but I mean, I take your word for it. That's very odd. It's good that we are on Twitter and Blaze, most importantly. I think we're on YouTube. With that said, let's jump into our first story. Like, we have to talk about this, man. Yesterday, we talked about Golden Tides raising $3.5 million for their game, which is amazing and incredible for them. Pales in comparison to $63 million. Who is raising $63 million? How are you raising $63 million? Why 63? And also, like, what is going on here? So StarTale is, let's go to their profile. They are bringing the world on chain by building, I don't know, something. They're on Sonium. That's like the big one. So they are building on Sonium. They're very well connected in the Sonium ecosystem. So this funding round came from the SBI group, which is partly backing from the Sony Innovation Fund and SBI Group. So they have deep ties, good connections to Sony, the Sony Innovation Lab, really making a big push with Sonium. So that's how I assume a lot of this funding came to be. They are building the global super app and accelerating its vision of a fully integrated on-chain financial and consumer ecosystem. So because Sonium is, big into gaming, Startale, I feel like this is just an ecosystem that is worth paying attention to, worth keeping an eye on. I will caveat this that I feel like we've seen these stories before. Ecosystem pops up, projects pop up to build in that ecosystem, raise a bunch of money, and then either launch mediocre products or who knows what they do, right? You see the headline news and then you're like, whatever happened with that? So yeah, what do we make of this? I have no idea. I have no idea. I just see $63 million Series A and my eyes perk up. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, I think I pulled up some Grok details. Let me see. Can I try and get this better formatted onto the show? They raised $13 million in January, and earlier they had $20 million raises. Apparently this is a split funding round of $50 million from SBI Group and $13 million from the Sony Innovation Fund to scale on-chain infrastructure for real-world assets, stablecoins, and all that good stuff. So another super app trying to be a super app. Let's keep it moving. Are games totally screwed? Let me fix my zoom in here. So big shout out to Jacob Novak, CEO and Emmy Award winner, previously the president's office at Square Enix Holdings. So this guy knows a thing or two about gaming and the gaming industry. And, he says games are screwed, go into AI, which is just funny. Basically, he's commenting on the Epic layoffs from yesterday, saying, the gaming industry may be in a tough place right now, but the tech industry and AI are hiring and paying even higher salaries. And he says many people are going to go there and thrive. He says Meta and others love hiring Epic staff, and with OpenAI pivoting harder into world models, the stock comp is going to be incredible. So, he says there's, this is a silver lining. These people will be fine. They're super talented. They're super connected. They do great work. He also references people that work on movies. It's gig work almost, gig economy. You work on your movie and then you're done and you move on to the next. And no one bats an eye at this. I'm thinking of that Joker, Dark Knight quote where he's like, it all is according to plan, but one little thing, and everyone freaks out. No one bats an eye. This is business as normal. So maybe these layoffs are kind of business as normal. But what was interesting about this, he does say the game industry in the West is going to shrink because the same forces that hit factories decades ago have hit games. He says it's cheaper to make products in China and ship them to the US. And likewise, it's cheaper to make games in Southeast Asia or Latin America. And because the talent is just so good. He says AI is a distraction from this change that has been happening via outsourcing for years already. True. He says if you're a game developer in the US, you probably originally came from tech and should consider going back. I don't like how he says going back like that, but we get the idea. He says people are going to be fine and make a lot of money. Game devs become fast foods. I don't know. I mean, not necessarily I think the market's going to market, and the cream will rise to the top and nature finds a way, Let's move on. Let's keep it going. NFT NYC 2026 confirmed, coming back September 1 through 3. That's such a weird way to say September 1st through the 3rd. I feel nothing. I'm this doesn't have any energy. Shout out to NFT NYC. That was my first kind of crypto gaming conference event that I went to. I met Brycent was the first person in crypto gaming that I met, maybe outside of the Ice Poker team. I might have met them before I met Bryson, but I met Bryson at NFT NYC 2022. Wow. 2022, man. And so this will always hold like a special place in my heart. I do have an affinity for NFT NYC, but at the same time, yes, I feel like I don't think I'm going to go, although it's in September. So maybe, but like, you don't go for the event, right? You go for the side events, the mixers, go hang out with Slayer, Jordan, see your friends out there. Because I'm in Boston, it's not that hard for me to get to. They did shut down NFT Paris, right? So, and NFT NYC has not been good the past few years. So, yeah. Moving on. I don't know what this is. Why do I have this on here? Oh, this is what, let me fix the formatting. I'm supposed to have the tweet up. Gunzilla, Gunzilla Games off the grid. Why can't I fix this the way that I want to? Was listed one of the most innovative gaming companies of 2026 along Nintendo, Embark Studios, and EA on fastcompany.com. So that is very notable. Quite the recognition. I mean, good, they're in good standing there. Nintendo, Embark, and EA and Gunzilla. That's pretty based. That's pretty great for them. It does make you wonder, I never know about these articles, right? Like, who's writing them? Are they, are they paid? Is this sponsored? Is it featured? We know the game, but nonetheless, great headline for Gunzilla. And I think it's deserved, right? Like, it does make sense what they're doing with, why am I blanking? Is it Game Informer? I was going to say Game Radar. What they're doing with Game Informer, what they're doing with their in-game advertising, what they're trying to do across the space with their MiCA compliance. It's very significant. Yeah, dude, like they freaking own Game Informer, so they are innovating and doing a lot. So this is not surprising. It is well deserved. And shout out to them, man. We love that. Moving on, your boy, little self shill. I announced the Icy Cup 2026. Of course, I'm working with Heroes of Hold'em on this campaign. Big shout out to them. April 3rd, set your calendar, 1 p.m. EST. We're going to be having a bunch of fun, special guests. Sam's going to be on stage. We're inviting a bunch of other people, bonus prizes, bounties, giveaways. Also, can I just shout myself out real quick on this graphic? Dude, I feel like I cooked on this graphic, man. I was proud of that. Moving on, we got game token news. I don't know. This is on the list. I don't know. Telegram's biggest ever digital gold rush launches on March 31st in the Game app. Obviously, Game, they just sold 60% of their token to the publicly traded company, and they're doing big things. So $500,000 in rewards though, which is pretty sick. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Goldfest, Telegram's biggest ever digital gold rush. I'm actually pretty in gold-backed tokens. Interesting. I'm always wondering how this stuff works. I can't wait to talk to Heidi and Luke more about what they're building with Stacked, because they are people that I actually trust to do this the right way. The somber in your voice. Listen, I'm just reporting on the news, guys. I'm just reporting, I see headline, I cover headline. What do you want from me? Speaking of headlines, Atiya's Legacy playtest number 2 is launching on April 8th. I think we talked about this. We kind of got the sneak peek leak on Gaming Daily, but very exciting for Atiya's Legacy. It is a closed playtest, so you have to be approved and invited and all that jazz. But dude, I'm excited. I'm really excited for Atiya's Legacy, and I really enjoy covering their progress and their journey. You know who else I love covering? We got to talk about Origins and my boy Sam Stefanina. Here, let's turn the audio on.
Freaking out?
You lost, bro. Look at Sam, so happy. That was the first time I saw Sam smile that day, because I came in to the den and Sam was knee deep in competition, locked in, focused. I was so happy to see him win and just to be there. GDC Wolves Den, another one in the books. So good, so fun. Shout out to Origins. They cooked on this edit, by the way. They cooked on the edit. They did a really great job on the edit, made me feel proud about, recording all this stuff, getting the interviews, seeing my hard work. Shout out to Sam, looking good there. First of all, also shout out to Sam. Have we not glazed Sam enough in this stream? You guys know what it is. The framing. How about the framing of this shot? I was like, Sam, I need some help. We're going to be doing these interviews. I don't know where to frame this. We should put the banner in the background. Like, help me do this. I was like moving around the plants in the background, like the left and right plant. I was trying to balance it. He's like, yeah, let's get the people in the background and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, dude, we cooked. We cooked. I think we cooked. I had a little light and everything. Lighting's good. Audio's good. I'm like, yeah, maybe we cooked. If you have not watched this video yet, you got to go watch it. It's a banger. Yeah. Really, really good time. You get to see everybody. Shout out to Mason, Bolt, Crypto Gorilla, Matthew Buxton. So fun. So fun. So fun. Dude, we were playing Origins all week long. It was sick. Okay, next up, moving on, we got Coinbase adding Checkmate, the check token, to Coinbase, dude. This is crazy. Shout out to AnyChess. They're getting listed on Coinbase. I haven't checked the price of AnyChess. They were like all-time highs. They were doing super well. Crazy. Good for, I mean, what, like, it was Fableborn for a little while. Like, whatever playbook they were running, they could not lose until they lost, big. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, rise like the Phoenix. But the AnyChess playbook right now, they are, I don't, we need to get them on the stream and talk to them. They're crushing. Next up, more tokens, dude. We get the wildcard token from Thousands launching at 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, March 26th. If you did not see the dub video that we reviewed yesterday, you got to go watch that video. The video is amazing. Super, super funny. And very exciting. We get a bunch of details as well. I think we have details. Yeah, we've got details. So shout out to Thousands giving us the ecosystem review. Why are they putting the $ away from WC? They're doing that on purpose. And like, is there's a reason, right? Are they like not supposed to promote the token or the cash tag or the handle? Does that like lessen the algorithm? Does it hurt I don't know. I don't know why they're doing it, but they're doing it. They're doing it. Big shout out to Thousands. We hope that the token goes live. If you guys might remember, the token, 100% of the token supply went 100% to the community. It was like earned in the game through gameplay, through ecosystem engagement, which was super cool. Felt like the right way to do it. GM, Ice and Dark, welcome to the show. Felt like the right way to do it. Again, I want to talk to Heidi and Pixels and Luke about, their approach, because they do a great job of that. In England, they used to call toilets washclosets. Yeah, no, I know. V Roshi in the Blaze chat. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's keep it moving. We got next Proof of Play. Shout out to Proof of Play. Dude, I had a heart attack on Friday. People were saying that Proof of Play was shutting down in some group chats. I think maybe they just had some server issues. I don't know what the issue. I don't know. I don't know what that was all about. I think unless maybe they are shutting down some parts of it, hashtag speculation. I don't know, but Shiba Story Go is live worldwide. Their game is free on iOS and Android. You can jump into their Shiba Story Go game. So congrats. Anytime we have the smaller error, people claim we're shutting down. I know, dude. I know. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. This is why I'm glad I didn't like post anything about it. I'm like, I don't know, hearsay. Llama says that he's played Shiba Story Go. He says it's okay, but it's the usual mobile game greed. Not surprised, Llama. Yo, this is why we love having Llama in the community and in the chat and in the show. Llama plays all the games and knows a lot about the games. So shout out to you, man. Appreciate you giving us the review, the word on the street. Most of the game, you play a lot of games, brother. Yeah, I mean, it gives me like, what was it? King of Destiny vibes. It's kind of like that. Anything called Shiba, anything is going to be hot dog water. You're not wrong. You're not right. It's hard to disagree with that, brother. It's hard to disagree. How about things that are called the Gigaverse? I feel like things called Gigaverse are just hot fire, super hot fire. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Gigaverse. Their temporal void stats were very impressive. They burned $2,500 worth of game items. Almost $5,000 worth of gigabit was won. And their item inflation was down by around 90%. Talk about burn mechanics. GG's to them. You love to see it. I love covering this stuff. It's just so fun to check in with the games, follow along their progress. I appreciate the games putting out like these stats, and that's why I enjoy, talking, covering them, and then getting to talk to them, and all of that good stuff. Let me just make sure that we are good. We should be having Heidi and Luke joining us soon. Oh, I don't know if Heidi got the link to the call. So let me just send that to you, Heidi. I assume you're coming on, but I mean, if not, that's okay too. You guys can join backstage anytime. We're just going to run the show. And then whenever, our guests of honor are here, we run the interview. With that said, our next story, Play on Joy. Shout out to Play on Joy. Solana Gaming. Listen, man, the president of the Solana Foundation might not be, bullish on blockchain gaming, but builders building in the Solana ecosystem aren't going to let that hold them back. I tried to get more information on this project. I reached out to Jorge back a while ago. I didn't really get a ton of information on it, but they've got a device. They've got their device where you can play games, which is really cool. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little skeptical because it's like hardware is really difficult. And we saw with the first Solana phone, it was kind of not that great. But it, can be the starting point to more development, if it works, they reinvest into it. There's a few devices on Solana, which is crazy. They've got the PSG1, which is the Play Solana, and they've got this Joy product. So that's very interesting. I don't know who's playing these. I don't know who's using them, but at the same time, these things, you want to see these things happening. You want to see people using this stuff. So hashtag bullish, hashtag it doesn't impact my life. And if it takes off, it takes off, that, which would be great. With that said, guys, we've got Luke and Heidi backstage. So let me throw up the away screen. We'll bring them back on. We'll return in 60 seconds with Luke and Heidi from Pixels and Stacked talking about their new products. So we'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
All right, we are live with Heidi and Luke from Pixels. Hi guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm super excited and genuinely honored to have you on the show. You guys are some of my favorite people like in the space, and we see each other all the time at like different events all over the world. But it's great to have you on the stream. How you doing?
Good. Tired. We're going hard crazy right now preparing for the Stacked release. We had our AMA earlier and we leaked that it was going to be the last AMA, the final AMA before Stacked officially launches. So that's our timeline right now. So you can imagine how much caffeine we've had, and we are going very hard right now. So anyways, I want to say though, I can probably speak on Luke's behalf. We are so honored to be here today, and it's about damn time that we did this. So I'm very excited.
Long overdue, and my apologies. That's like, as I started doing more of these interviews this year, I'm mad at myself for not doing them sooner. I was like, for you guys' knowledge, like my modus operandi was like, I wanted to like do good work and earn good favor with everybody and then like build the relationships. But I'm like, I should have just like done interviews way sooner and had you guys on. So yeah, no, I'm such a fan of you guys. And Luke, I mean, you guys are working so hard, your hat's upside down.
Oh yeah, yeah. It does throw some people off. I mean, yeah, I'm very thankful that you had us on. You're one of those people that people just want to help out. So I think you can ask for favors more often. Yeah, you do really good work in the space. You're very trustworthy. I don't think you've ever like sold out or like, promoted something that you don't believe in. That's really rare for Web3. So props to you, man, and respect to you.
Thank you. We're all doing our best out here. So I'd love to start, like, I definitely want to get into Stacked a little bit later, but I'd love to start just like the state of Pixels, Q1 of 2026. I know you guys do, it seems like you do your weekly AMAs and town halls, which is great. Love founders and builders that show up consistently. But yeah, like for anyone who maybe hasn't seen much from Pixels in the past few months, like what would they be missing out on? What do they need to know? How are you guys feeling about the game and the ecosystem?
So in terms of releases that the public would be aware of over the last 3 to 4 months at Pixels, I think the biggest development that happened was Pixels became sustainable, essentially. And that was because of a lot of game updates and a lot of technological, breakthroughs that we had built out, all coming together, essentially. So yeah, we've been talking about this ever since Pixels came out, basically, this metric called return on reward spend, essentially a measurement of how many rewards you're giving out every single month compared to the revenue that the game is doing. And yeah, after a few big game updates, which if you want to know more info on those game updates, they're really cute. They added like a lot of new content. Heidi could probably speak more on those. Yeah, Pixels has become sustainable, which is one of those things that we've been trying to do for so long, and also kind of the foundation of what Stacked is going to be as well.
Yeah, if you scroll down, are you showing?
Yeah, let's do it.
If you that pinned message there was one of the major huge releases that we did recently, Animal Care. So you collect your resources and you hopefully get offspring little egg things, which you then hatch in this little incubator. You got to craft potions. It's like a whole thing. And what we've really been catering to in the updates that we've released over the last several months is gearing up for endgame. So we have users that have been with us for 4 years. And a lot of them are level 800. I don't even know. I can't even tell you the numbers. They are hardcore players. They've been around forever. And we saw our player base just wanting more in those higher levels in the end game. And so that's what a lot of these updates have been catered towards, and what we're gearing towards. Also, there's a new update coming like maybe in the next week or two. That is like really more hardcore end game. We of course will shift back to beginner friendly stuff shortly after that release, but that's really what our focus has been over the last few months in the Pixels core game, and it's been really, really fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can you what can you share about maybe some of that end game content and
you want some, this is what you're saying.
Yeah, so. Well, maybe what's public and maybe just a little bit of what's coming.
Sure. This is going to be like Pixels knowledge, so you might not fully understand what I'm saying, but we are going to be releasing a tier 5 game loop. It is, so right now, items and industries and all of these things are broken up into different tiers, and the highest one in game right now is tier 4. So we will be adding a tier 5 game loop. It is going to look different from other tiers, the regular game that we're used to, in that things won't necessarily last forever, but they're not just gonna break on you. It's not the same. It's more based. Okay, how much should I leak here, Luke?
This is also breaking news, by the way. We haven't told anybody in the community
Chloe in the chat is freaking out. Tier 5, let's go. So you don't have to leak too much. I love and appreciate you guys.
I'm gonna finish at one big thing. This is an Icy exclusive. Are you ready? Just because we love you. Something to do with land industry limits.
Okay. Alpha will let the detectives do their job. Somebody call Zach XBT, get him on the case. Chloe is very excited about those that.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Chloe gets it.
Chloe will be right back because they're going to play Pixels right now.
Oh yeah, he's probably like whipping up. He makes such good content. He's probably whipping up like exclusive.
Yeah, Chloe is my main clipper on the channel, and I love them so much.
Yeah,
they're
he's
incredible.
awesome. We hired him for our private event in the Philippines, and he like made all his content. It was sick. He's great.
He came up to me at YGG Play. Somebody was like, "I'm Chloe," and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, let's give a big hug and everything. Real quick, I'd love to go back. Luke, you talked about Pixels being sustainable. I covered a lot of the journey with vPixel and App Token. So I'd love to just hear a little bit more or double click into that. You know, how that's been going for you guys. Obviously, you know, you guys have been on the cutting edge of, you know, exploring what can be done, innovating with the technology, you know, tinkering with the different levers and everything. So love to, I don't know, hear just your outlook on it. And then, like what kind of was the thing that started to work for you guys that made that shift?
Yeah, so app tokens have been a part of the strategy that we're implementing, but really, when we've been thinking about how to make plays to earn sustainable, all that, we've looked at a bunch of different tools. App tokens are one part of the tool. What we've really been trying to do is break down the problem more simply. And truthfully, what we're trying to figure out is play to earn in terms of real US dollar amounts, right? So if I give $1 rewards every single month, do I get $1.50 back per reward, essentially? And app tokens are kind of adjacent or to the side of that, right? Because if you solve in real money, you can technically use US dollars if you wanted to, or any other currency. Now, app tokens still have a place because it is a way to give out rewards to players who are, you know, more Web3 enthusiasts or who care about other parts of the Web3 ecosystem. Like, for example, we do have an app token out right now. It's called vPixel. We've been giving it out inside of the game in certain situations. And what you can do with vPixel is you can spend it or you can stake it. Now, when I think about the long term of Pixel, we're probably going to transition Pixel more to be a stake only currency rather than an in-game spend or reward currency, and transition a lot of the economics of our core games into US dollars. The reason being is because you can't avoid it. Everybody does the US dollar math when they're earning or spending inside of a game. It just makes things a lot more simple, and that's really how you should be solving the problem in the first place. But vPixel, we're probably going to use it for things like, you know, governance, community decision making, and it's still a good thing to give out for the people who care about Web3. For example, we do have a big community treasury sitting out there. Like, I've always been worried if we like let the community, you know, take over it, it could be bad for the token and the net, right? That actually might be a really good situation to turn that community treasury into vPixel, where it's like, okay, if the community decides we're going to give all of the vPixel away to, you know, holders right now, it doesn't tank the token, and it's actually good long-term alignment, right? Because these people either spend or stake the token and it's still aligned. So I'm thinking through use cases like that. Even for, you know, maybe there's a situation where team treasury or like team allocation is converted to vPixel, where if we're starting to get yield in other tokens, it's still aligned long-term, right? And we can remove overhanging supply in the long run also. Like, there's a few specific ways that it can be very useful where we don't shove it into like a Web2 user's face, but it can still help the economics of the game and the ecosystem.
Fascinating. That's awesome, man. I like, that's really, so I'm like a nerd when it comes to, I don't know, like crypto games and how we're designing the economies and balancing things and, you know, aligning incentives with, you know, the treasuries and communities and stuff like that. I just think it's like such an interesting design space, and that's what I've enjoyed, like the ups and downs of the past, you know, few years. And I'm like still holding out hope that, like, you know, we're working towards, we're trying to solve really hard problems, right? And we're working and we're learning along the way and working towards really compelling solutions. So I guess like I want to ask you guys, you know, kind of going back a little bit, you know, we just came off of GDC. Heidi, you were like literally speaking on stage as like PC Gamer was tweeting out like there's no blockchain gaming talks at GDC this year. And like, obviously, you know, sentiment has been rough this year. We've, you know, across the board, just, you know, all of crypto, right? People are saying crypto Twitter is dead, you know, gaming on blockchains is not coming back, all that stuff. So I'm curious, how does that, like, how do you guys as builders navigate all of the noise, all of the hurdles, the difficulty, you know, the sometimes negative, like straight out just negativity, and people like, you know, are being the worst humans in the world. I mean, it's tough. It's tough for all of us out here, creators, builders, founders. Yellow Panther in the building, in the Twitter chat knows what it takes to build through all of that. So I'm curious, like, how do you guys navigate that and still have like the passion and energy to be building in the way that you are?
Yeah, let me hop in here. So first of all, haters gonna hate. Like, we are so thick-skinned at this point that I don't think there's much that you can actually say to Luke and I and have us like, anyways. I think people are just really obsessed with terminology. Like the other day, people, I forget who it was, she tweeted about like blockchain gaming will never work. And it's like, define blockchain gaming, you know what I mean? Like, using the blockchain, it's technology, you know, like people used to say the internet wasn't going to work, you know, like there's all of these different things. AI wasn't going to work. Look at it now, you know. Blockchain is technology, and how you choose to implement it in whatever product you're using, it doesn't, like, you can say that it makes it Web3, I guess. Like, people are just really obsessed with all these things. So like our product Stacked is like solving a play to earn problem, and like this like new model, right? But you can call it Web3, you can call it crypto, because there are features of it but there are also features of it that don't need to touch crypto, you know, like, so it's just like, why are we so obsessed with defining all of these things with words? Gaming is gaming. Gaming is gaming. That's my response to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Luke.
I was gonna maybe say something more woo-y too, where it's like, I mean, yeah, only you know your own heart and intention, right? So, you know, the space gets very negative sometimes. People accuse like the best-hearted people in the space of doing terrible things, even though they're just building and doing their best, right? The reality is it's very hard to build a Web3 game. It's not easy, and that's why so many people have come and failed. And yeah, you know, I just build, and I think the team builds knowing that we're doing our best and that we're actually really trying to build out something real. And because of that, like, what other people think doesn't matter. Like, if we actually achieve what we're trying to achieve, that's what matters at the end of the day, right? And at least doing our best effort towards it.
Yeah, no, respect. I guess, like, what is your outlook for the space, you know, for like the next, I don't know, 12 to 18 months? Like, do you still have the same convictions? Are they hardened as ever? Like, what are some of the things that you're seeing that you're like, okay, yes? Or are there things that you're like, you know, maybe concerned about in the space? Maybe not like, yeah, just generally broadly speaking.
So when you're building, there's like theoretical side of things, like, okay, should this work for these reasons, right? On paper, like, everything can work. And then you're out in the field, and then you start to get to tactics, right? So tactics are, okay, like, this is the theory would work, right? But then how do you actually do the implementation in the real world when it comes to constraints and all of this, right? So where Web3, blockchain gaming, all of that is we're in the tactics phase where it will work, but now there's not as much funding. Now a lot of teams have exhausted a lot of options, and because this technology will work, there will be a couple teams that break through, right? When these teams break through, then it opens up a lot of opportunity for others. What I'm seeing right now is, to get the perfect Web3 game where everything is on chain, that's still a lot of work and like a lot of time until we get there. Because what we had to solve first for Web3 gaming to actually work was basically all the problems of Web3. This is kind of the thesis behind Stacked, but essentially Web3 games are so hard to build because they have to solve every single part of the stack of crypto, not just the game part and the fun game part, but they need to figure out like the technology rails at scale. They need to figure out the user experience towards new users, and they need to figure out incentive alignment, which that's like a I like to call it like an NP hard problem, like one of the hardest problems you could possibly solve. Essentially, how do you make sure that the right people get the right allocation of resources? Like, this is literally what hundreds of PhDs at governments do every single day, right? And you're expecting a normal Web3 game team to figure that out. It's a hard problem, but it's going to work, and it's going to be a better system in the long run. What we're doing is we're starting with like a smaller slice, where it's just the like play to earn part. When you have these slices, then you can build on top of them and add more like in-depth ownership after that. I don't really like the term like Web 2.5 or like Web 3 or any of this. It's just you're just building something that works, that is a better solution than what's currently out there, right?
Yeah, no, I'm 100% in agreement with you and Heidi. Like, the terms is like, it doesn't work. Web 2.5, blockchain, NFT gaming, Web 3. It's just like, it's good games. It's good experiences.
It was representing all of Web3 at GDC. Like, that was wild. Like, I was talking about live ops and game development. I wasn't talking about crypto or blockchain specifically.
Yeah.
But because like, and I'm so okay to represent Web3 gaming. Like, don't get me wrong, but that was a wild moment. Anyways, I digress.
No, I mean, it's interesting because like we are the ones on the front lines, paving the path forward, and I think we're all like trying to figure out the best ways to do that, which I'm in agreement with you. It is just talking about building great games and and the experiences that gamers have, and empowering them, and building from first principles, which I think you guys do really, really well. So we've kind of touched on it. Let's dive into Stacked, the new platform that you guys are building. It's based around solving sustainable play to earn and this concept of rewarded play. But Luke, maybe you can kind of like give the broad overview. It was actually a really great video on Ronin that had like a compilation of you talking about it, which was awesome. But I have you here, so I don't need to play the video. Tell me, what is Stacked and why did you guys build it and how does it work?
So Stacked is essentially like years of work from the Pixels team. We started off basically trying to figure out how we can add Web3 into a game. And this is where we ended up. This is how we can do it. So essentially, what Stacked is on the user side, it's literally just a rewards app. You go to this app and you can choose from a few different games, and these games will give you different rewards you can go do inside of the game, and you can cash out. It's that simple. And on the back end, it's a behemoth to make that actually happen. Essentially what's going on is you can almost view like what we're building as an ad network in its simplest terms, but it's a new kind of ad network. In traditional growth for games, what they have to do is games typically will pay almost all of the money that they make from a game to go back into user acquisition to get more users. Monopoly Go is a really good example. Monopoly Go made like $2 billion of revenue. In a year, they spent like $1.5 billion on user acquisition through paid ads, right? And the current methods of user acquisition right now, what these companies have to do is they have to go and pay Meta or TikTok or Google to go and run an ad. Now, Stacked is actually asking the question, what if instead of going through these channels, if we just gave some of our users some of that money directly, right? Can we actually still grow a game in a sustainable way that's profitable for us as well, where the users get rewarded and we still grow a business? And yeah, we have a system that kind of unlocks that essentially. So on the back end, what do? Well, when you're playing a game inside of Stacked, what happens is we start to understand and build a profile of how you're playing the game, right? And we kind of get a baseline understanding first, like, are you a bot or not, right? Like, there's anti-fraud and Sybil resistance built in. And then the second side of things, we start to analyze, like, what kind of player are you? Like, how are you playing? And we start to give you different rewards based on the type of player that you are, right? So basically, every person in Stacked gets unique rewards tailored towards them that help the game and the ecosystem and the player, right? So on the game side, a game can basically give out different rewards for players to go and achieve different things that the game might want to achieve. Like, for example, maybe a game wants to like have players play a certain game mechanic more often. They can give you rewards to go and do that game mechanic more.
Yeah.
Or maybe a game is seeing that users are dropping off a lot after the first day. Well, they can create rewards that go and give people incentives to come back the second day, right? And the really cool part about this is we built all the tech to facilitate this. Over the last few months, we've had a really big unlock where we've added an agentic layer on top of all of this work. Like basically how Stacked is built is it's, you know, a lot of data ingestion, a lot of data science, data models, predictive models, like all of that fun, nerdy stuff. We added an agent layer on top that can basically access all of these models and then help a game kind of tweak and tune different rewards for the players almost automatically. You can literally talk to it like, hey, help me create rewards for users that help them retain from day 3 to day 7. And it'll go and like look at your game data. It'll see where users are dropping off, and it'll help create offers inside of your game that help retain those users. It's a crazy product. Like we've been using it internally a little bit. Because it's built on top of all this data modeling and these data tools that we built, it works super, super well and cleanly.
That's incredible. Yeah, I didn't think about like the agentic layer and how that can just go so much deeper and optimize and just like even automate it in some ways. I've been doing OpenClaw and Claude, and I've been doing a bunch of stuff on with agents myself. I have so many questions. So I guess at a high level, I'm curious because we've seen questing platforms before, and this kind of reminds me, I mean, it has like questing elements, but I also feel like you guys are thinking about it in a different way. So I don't, or not, I'm not sure. Like, how do you think about it in terms of questing? Where is it different? I think the agentic layer is something really compelling for that. Shout out to Peyton tuning in on the YouTube. I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, like where is it the same? Where is it different? And why is Stacked gonna I don't know, maybe excel
Almost,
in that arena?
Yeah, so basically every Web3 questing platform has been built rules based in the best case scenario, essentially. So it's like you did this or you hit this level, and therefore maybe you're eligible for this if they even have those protections, right? And that is so easy to break. Like a lot of what we've been dealing with at Pixels is for the last 2 years is how to counteract bots. It's nuanced. Rules-based stuff can kind of help, but really when you add more rules and complexity to the system like that, all you're doing is buying time for somebody to bot the system. What you really need to figure out is the data side and how to predict what users are going to do. And there's a few tells that are obvious, right? But it can get more complicated and like more nuanced as well too. Like a very obvious tell is, or like just to help you understand, essentially, instead of going after a bot, when you're thinking about a rewarded play system, really what you should be doing is you should be rewarding first, the most obvious segment is spenders, right? So don't even think about the bot side for half of it. Like think about who are the right players inside of my game that I can reward. And that needs to be data driven. That needs to be predictive. And that needs to have a crazy amount of like data modeling, like prediction and data science behind it. And that's what these questing platforms haven't had. There are a couple of questing platforms inside of Web 2 that are starting to grow a little bit more now. It's funny, this just happened last week. This company called Just Play got acquired by a big Korean publisher who's doing like something similar, but we have a little bit more depth. We have like instant cash out crypto and like a few other components too. But yeah, you need to be data driven. You can't just have a broad quest platform because they don't work. They don't actually convert. Like a lot of the other problem is like we've been contacted by like dozens of quest boards from Web3. Like they want you to put a bunch of money into them without any clear objective of what's going to happen. They have no attribution, like no idea what's going to happen. They just don't work basically. Like you need this layer of depth and nuance for these systems to actually work because the margins are going to be thin enough. If it's not like completely oriented perfectly, then it's just not going to work.
I love that. It's well said. I guess let me ask you, Luke, is Stacked, because I feel like with Pixels, you guys have been experimenting with the play to earn model and trying to make it work. And I guess through all of that experience, all of that data, all of the players, all of the game development, all of the history of the game, like culminating in this product, which is Stacked, to address, you know, a sustainable rewarded play to earn. Do you like that journey feels very natural and organic versus, you know, in crypto we see all the time, like we started out as one thing and now we're launching an L2 because we're launching an L2. Whereas like, no, like Stacked feels like this was maybe the quest that Luke and Heidi have been on for, you know, years to try and address this core issue. Is that how it feels to you guys, or?
Yeah. So I mean, Stacked is Pixels and Pixels is Stacked in a way also. Like Pixels uses Stacked right now, and Stacked is a large reason why Pixels is sustainable right now. Like Stacked, it's already live technically, and it's already been live for months. It's been all the tech that we built out in Pixels, just literally wrapped as a product, but it's used in Pixels right now. And Pixels
I
is
heard
sustainable
Heidi's
right
got
now
the
because of
cheat
it.
codes.
Mhm.
That was a really funny moment. I was playing, so I was doing a Stacked task on our live stream while Luke was yapping about
Yeah.
I don't know, like tokenomics or something, and I was trying to do so like we've said, you can get different tasks of like tons of different sorts of tasks, right? So this one was a bit more luck based than skill based, I would
You
say.
need, like 24 bombs or something.
Yeah.
Skillist.
Sure. Sure. Right. Anyways, I got it the second try and I didn't realize because I didn't think I could win. And it was just someone like made a clip of it. And it was really funny. So then I won 200 pixel from a Stacked task on our live stream, which was wild. So obviously everyone thinks it's rigged because it's me. Duh. And then in the Pixels game, the Neon Zone arcade has a leaderboard. And because I won with 24 mines, I ranked so high on the leaderboard that I got another 100 pixel from winning. So I profited from that. Yeah, you can see, I was mad. That was me, not proud. He got it wrong. I wasn't proud. I was like, damn it, I didn't do it. And then I was like,
wait, did I win? Well, that's really awesome. No, I mean, rewarded play is working right there. Sorry, Luke. Pixels is Stacked. Stacked is Pixels. The leaderboard, there's an in-game leaderboard with Pixels that Heidi was just talking about. So it is all deeply integrated. I wanted to let you finish that point.
Yeah. So we're transitioning more and more of like the Pixels earning into Stacked.
Yeah.
And essentially like pretty soon in the next couple months, as we slowly transition this, all of the rewards will only be available in Stacked most likely, or at least like they'll be in the Stacked system. This allows like a couple of other nice things. Like it removes the tight coupling of Pixel and the Pixels game, but all of the Pixel rewards are still in the game, just in another app basically. What that allows us to do is that allows us to go mobile native, allows us to do UA on mobile platforms. And it just allows for it also allows for like credit card monetization too, which can be very difficult with a Web3 game otherwise.
And faster game development. Like our current system in game is clunky and messy and takes a lot of time to maintain. Any chat with Pixels users in it, you will see at least one person say task board's broken, and it's like, okay, when are you going to say that it's not broken? You know what I mean? So shifting to Stacked allows us to, not have a broken task board narrative, I guess, is a highlight for me personally.
Yeah, and probably for other games that you're probably going to work with as well, which I want to ask more about. But before I do, we got a question from the chat. Maybe you guys have heard of this guy. Peyton Kaleva-Heya is asking. Yeah, exactly, right? He says, first, welcome back home, Heidi. And he says, Luke, what is the hardest problem to solve in bot and incentivized play? I was actually curious about that as well, because we are seeing more of the agentic stuff. And then he also asked, rewarding spenders, does that acquire to pay to play, or does that require pay to play? I guess is probably what he meant.
So
yeah,
this is where the depth and the nuance of a rewarded play system really comes into play, where it's like the most obvious base case for rewarded play, if you wanted to like not incentivize bots, is just rewarding spend. But if you've done any live ops or game design or game economics, you know that there's so many more levers inside of a game than just attracting whales to make a game economy work and to make a game fun as well. If you were only to give rewards for spenders, one, that's not going to go very far. It's going to go to a very, very small amount of users. And then two, you're missing out on a ton of breadth inside of the game also. Like, for example, one of our head game economists, he was at Kabam. What they found is when they started to incentivize and like acquire users who were not whales inside of their game, it led to better whale spend even, right? When they started to go after like lower value users, traditional users that game studios didn't really want to acquire. Well, one, now there's a better player base inside of the game that makes the game more fun, makes the game more engaging for all types of users, right? So if you were only to give rewards just to these specific users, then it doesn't work either, right? So that's where a lot of the nuance is, and that's where like reward attribution and doing reward attribution both on like the micro and the macro level matter. You can do it per player, right? So if you're only looking at the per player stuff, you're not going to get very valuable data. You have to also think about how it affects cross segment behavior. That's a whole thing called Markov chain testing and like a bunch of, you know, really nerdy data science stuff. But that's a lot of the nuance here too. And this is why this problem set is so hard, right? And why this is like such a crazy thing to build for most teams. And to expect every single team in Web3 to come in and do this, it's just not feasible.
Yeah. Case in point, like the state of the industry in this space. And that's why I've really appreciated you holding the mantle and fighting the good fight and still talking about sustainable play to earn and working on this problem, because like if it gets solved, it's massive and game changing, which is like, I mean, that's kind of what we're here for. Like that's what I came into the space for. I got my start in ice poker, which was modeled after Axie Infinity in many ways, play to earn, 2 token ecosystem, play the game every day. And it was poker. So it was like a game that I was good at and had a lot of fun. I could grind for, 6-7 hours. And I did for like all of 2022. Okay. A few more questions, on Stacked. One, the model makes sense for cutting out some of the middleman or the wasteful ad spend. Like, hey, if you're going to spend the money on UA or, marketing and advertising, like give it to the players, reward the people. Like, that's just going to be better for the ecosystem overall. But Meta, TikTok, these are major, massive platforms with distribution and stuff like that. So how are you guys thinking about getting players onto Stacked, growing that, getting that user acquisition and distribution yourselves to make that work? Is there like an inflection point where, once we get, this many people, gamers or games on the platform, it kind of like takes off and, hits that critical escape velocity, or what's that piece of the puzzle look like?
Yeah, so Stacked will probably never be a full replacement for a paid UA funnel. It'll probably be one other channel that you add. Now, the interesting thing is we've been running a lot of paid ads on a new game that we're coming out with called Chubkins. It's in early access right now. It's a social pet care app. It's probably going to release next month to other countries. It's only available in the US on Android right now. We've been running paid ads on it. We probably have done 200 different ad formats at this point. And a lot of the experience that we've been doing is how we can start to share what play to earn is with the Web2 audience in the way that they resonate with. So we've been running many different formats of ads. We've been running some ads that just talk about the gameplay. We've been running some ads that mention crypto. And we run some ads that just mention rewards with like gift cards and all of this. Now, the interesting thing is whenever you start to add in rewards into an ad format, it actually really, really greatly decreases your CAC, right? So just having Stacked or a rewarded play system integrated into your game in some form lowers your customer acquisition cost on all channels. It's funny on the crypto side, when we start mentioning crypto rewards, increases our CAC a ton. So it shows you that there's user demand for play to earn, but when the crypto word is just kind of dirty to these users right now. So framing play to earn in a way that's not so crypto oriented is quite important. Still funny, play to earn, still a very strong keyword though. Like that specific keyword still resonates with people as well too. But yeah, for our particular go-to-market strategy. So when I think about how I can scale the system and our ecosystem right now, how many games in Web3 are ready to scale? To be honest, there's not that many. Like, we're gonna work with Web3 games in the beginning stages, and we're gonna let more Web3 games and like other partners use the tech if they want. Now, I'm not so optimistic on it, to be completely honest. I think our best chance of scaling Stacked is still through our own first-party games, through Pixels and Chubkins in the beginning stages, and also the other games that we publish, like Pixel Dungeons, Sleepygachi, and some other ones too, right? But most of our internal efforts will be focused on making this system work better for us, essentially. And if other teams want to come along for the ride, like, you know, we might as well have them. It's like already built up in a way to support them. But really, if we prove this out with our games first, then we start to onboard Web2 customers. And to me, that's the more interesting part.
Yeah, cool. Very cool. I have a follow-up question there, but real quick, I just have to say Chubkins looks super cute.
I know it is super cute. I'm so excited for it to release to more countries soon.
I love that. I love that. Okay, going back to Stacked games, solving play to earn, I wanted to ask, so in your clip that was posted on Ronin, you talked about other games in the Pixels ecosystem, other games in the Ronin ecosystem, other games and platforms, maybe outside of Ronin and on other chains. So what can you share about the partners that may be launching on Stacked when they come, and or what can you share about, like, you know, the future of different missions, quests, and things to do on the Stacked, and partners on the Stacked platform?
Yeah, so Stacked has multi-chain support out of the box. Like, if a game is EVM compatible, we can support them. We can support that chain also. Now, what I'll say is, like, we're happy on Ronin, and, like, you know, Pixel games, they're gonna stay on Ronin. But it'd be silly to like not support other stuff if there is like potential interest out there, right? Now it's funny because state of Web3 gaming right now, again, it's like, how many partners are there actually out there that could even use what we have effectively, right? Like, the game needs to be live. It needs to be able to generate revenue in order for us to actually work with them. Whittles down the list right now. We could even support stuff that's not a game. Like, we could support a chain too. Like, for example, if a chain wanted to give out rewards and incentivize staking or incentivize transaction volume, like, Stacked supports that out of the box also. We built it with Web3 in mind. But again, our first focus is going to be on our own games, because I think that genuinely is our best shot of scaling everything. If you do have a game that's ready to scale and you want to try using this out, like, we are going to bring people on, not charging for the software. Like, if you have your own token and you use Stacked, it won't cost you anything. If you're trying to give out US dollars or rewards, then we'll talk, and like maybe we'd move to a rake-based model in the beginning stages. But yeah, it's essentially open. Just I'm skeptical myself of how many games are ready to accept this. And again, our best shot is like scaling our own stuff first. But yeah, open-minded.
Okay, very cool, very cool. I know, and that makes a lot of sense. I guess I wanted to go back a little bit. I wanted to go to the website, but it's still kind of the waitlist page. What is the like user experience gonna look like? I guess you kind of said people can use their own tokens. You've got vPixel, and then there's USDC or stable coins potentially as well. I apologize. I think you kind of spoke about it, but I want to like hold it in my head of like, okay, what to expect when I go on to Stacked as both a gamer who might be looking to do one of the quests, and also maybe as a project who wants to, you know, host or do something with you guys.
Yeah, so on the studio side, we can support like any token natively in the platform, and you can do like withdraw and cash out with that native token.
Mm-hmm.
We have an off-chain currency points also that can be redeemed for USD or for like eventually gift cards and, you know, other in-game purchases.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can also, if you integrate another way, we can support rewarding inside of your own game. So if you had like soft currencies or in-game items, you can do that too. It's like a little bit more of an integration, but it's not bad. You'd probably be able to integrate that particular system in like an hour or two as a dev. But yeah, essentially it can reward anything, and we can do the reward attribution on any kind of currency and any kind of asset. When it comes to the user experience, so again, consider when we release this in the early stages, more of a soft launch. Like, what I'm most interested in is like really proving and solving the model. And you'll see Pixels games on there at first, basically. So we're not launching with like a ton of other partners at the beginning stages, mostly because, again, I think our best shot of scale is just their own stuff at the beginning stages. But yeah, you'll see Pixels stuff first, and then slowly over the next month or two, you'll see more games added, more tasks added, and like even things that aren't games added as well. And even like when the mobile version comes out, you'll even see like Web 2 game rewards as well. Like you'll be able to get rewards for playing some Web 2 games when the mobile versions are out, which will probably be in like a week or two.
That's awesome. Okay, that makes it much more clear. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Luke. One or two more questions, and I just had it in my head. I guess I'm really getting the sense that, like, and it makes so much sense, the platform is going to be more like it's deeper gameplay engaged tasks and things, right? I think my problem with like all the questing platforms before was like, go follow us on Twitter and go join our Discord and retweet this post and like you'll get points and all this stuff. But like this is like, you know, a gaming platform that, you know, it's like, hey, go do this in the game, you know, go to this land in Pixels, you know, farm this or bring this back, which is like, that's the stuff that I like to do, right? I like to, you know, I've been playing a bunch of Arc Raiders and like the quests there are really fun, expeditions and stuff, really fun because it's fun things to do within the game that then brings more meaning and, you know, a deeper, richer experience. Obviously, it's really great for retention. It's really great for, you know, late nights in the game and whatnot. So I guess, is that how you guys are also thinking about it with, you know, some of the early gameplay quests? And I keep saying quests. I don't know if that's how you guys refer to it.
A quest is a better way to describe it. Yeah. Like the technical term is offer, but it's honestly a terrible user facing term, and it's like a bad habit that I need to stop saying. So those questing platforms previously, remember how botted they were?
Yeah,
it was
terrible.
crazy. Like, so a few issues with that. Like you can't actually give real people rewards if they're getting botted because the bots are going to take them all.
Yeah.
So those point systems never cashed out.
Yeah.
Or never gave like real users rewards, and also like it's kind of counterproductive sometimes too. That's why these reward platforms are like follow us on Twitter, because they couldn't give you anything else. Also, a lot of these quest platforms, not real products for using them, right? Which is part of the issue too. Like we're really only interested in working with games and ecosystems and apps and anything else that are generating revenue and ready to scale, right? Like it's time for Web3 to enter its like grown up stage where we actually build real products that actually provide real value to people. And that's the only thing I'm interested in building moving forward. And, you know, if we can't find that in Web3, what's great is this tech stack works Web2 and Web3. There's plenty of people out in Web2 that are building out real products that we can work with and, you know, even turn Web3 in a way.
Yeah. I love that. I feel like I have to ask because like I just always have the curiosity in me. So if I have it, I'm sure other people have it as well. No worries if you can't speak on things or don't want to. But I'm curious, like we have Pixels, we have the Pixel token. We are going to now have the stacked platform. Is there any, you know, thoughts of like a new token for stacked? Or does Pixel, I mean, you've kind of said Pixel is stacked, stacked is Pixel. Does Pixel become a much deeper integrated token for stacked? And you did speak on that, but people are going to ask when token, when airdrop. So I feel like I at least have to ask the question.
No. So we're never launching another token.
You said the words.
Yeah. So how I view tokens moving forward, and particularly the Pixel token,
Pixel is the next Pixel.
Yeah. I want to transition it away from the reward currency and transition it more to a stake only currency, viewing Pixel more like a part of a bigger protocol. So essentially, when these games start generating US dollar revenue, if we want to give yield to the protocol, it'll probably have to come from US dollar revenue moving forward, which means yield for the Pixel protocol will likely be in USD in the medium term. It's going to be a little bit of a transition to do that. But essentially, it'll be stake Pixel, earn USDC in that scenario, right? We'll probably start to ease emissions off of Pixel when we do that, right? If we can start to give out rewards in just US dollars, that's not any more rewards going out to users in the native token that is then sold, right? So that's where we're transitioning this to. Stacked will be a part of the Pixel staking system. I don't know if like a lot of people follow this, but we started doing like decentralized publishing a little bit in our staking ecosystem.
Yeah.
It was kind of working. Here were two issues with it. One is there's not enough games in Web3 to publish. I talked to all of them. There's no games to publish, basically. So yeah, you run out of that really quickly. And then two, it's not a good user experience to have users experience any risk or exposure to a single game. Most games fail, even if they're good games, right? So what's a better user experience is having a blended exposure to a set of games, and that's where we'll move the staking system towards. Like what's nice about Stacked is blended exposure to many games that use Stacked if you're staking towards that. So likely you'll see the Pixel token maybe just be staking towards the Stacked system in the long run. Pixel token might become stake only, and then maybe expect USDC yield because that's where the revenue will be coming from. That's where the yield will have to come from.
That's awesome, man. I love the way that you guys are approaching it, the philosophy that feels like the right answer, that feels like the right approach. I really respect you guys as like builders and yeah, just like what you're doing in the space and rooting for you guys. Heidi, what's the alpha in getting rewarded play? Again, I got to ask you, it feels like you got the hacks. It feels like you got the streamer loot. How do Tsubasa came in here earlier, said, can he earn money by playing games? What's the alpha? How do you do it? You had 200 Pixel, another 100 on the leaderboard. What the heck?
I wish I had an answer. I'm usually really bad at these things, like the luck things. Yeah, I don't know. Luke was like rigging the higher lower game earlier this year, so maybe
it's not rigging. I was good at it.
Sticks to it, and I was like clicking for fun, and that's really all I did on the live stream was just clicked for fun. So no, I wish I had an answer for you, but I don't. But I think that's also just like another cool thing that Stack does is like the offers that I'm going to get will be catered towards me, and doable by me, and fun for me, which is like what you were saying earlier. I know you were looking at a tweet earlier of it was a screenshot of the pixels. So you can, like we were talking about earlier, like integrating Stacked. So there's the Stacked app where you can see Stacked, like the Stacked website, Stacked app, and you see all of those offers and stuff in that branding. But then like that's in the Pixels game itself. Yeah. So it looks fun and colorful like the Pixels game is, right? So
yeah, it's very engaging and it looks great. I mean, it makes you want to play. She said it, guys. She said it. You can't win if you don't play. And all you got to do is just keep clicking, just keep clicking.
I don't know what to tell you.
I love that. Luke, I have another question from Peyton here. He says, in your article, you talked about how people, I appreciate you guys being such good sports. We're almost coming up on the hour, so I don't want to keep you guys too long. I know it's late for Heidi, but when we got Peyton and guys asking questions, I feel I got to ask him. So he says, you talked about how people only feel like first country users are the only ones that are valuable, but you talked in your article and even here about the whales that spend more and when there are more users and gamers in there. So he's asking, what other perks have you seen from like maybe the more, cheaper users other than filling the world? So I guess like what are the other benefits to having more gamers, more, player liquidity, how that balances out the ecosystem and contribute to better gameplay for the whales and for the whole game economy?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's not like gamers in, not like, I don't like the word first or third world, but like It's not like gamers in like Southeast Asia or Brazil don't pay money for games and don't play games. They do. Like their purchasing power isn't as much, right? So like, you know, Steam prices games differently in Brazil than it does in the US, right? That's normal. Like, you know, the economies are different there, right? And like same thing too. It's like if you get the economics right, you can still build out systems that involve them and give them earnings and like still have the economics work too. Like the holy grail of what we're building here is like we're not building risk to earn, we're not building like cash back, we're building play to earn. So we still want some people to be able to earn while still maintaining economics in the game too, and it's possible, is what I'll say. And it's funny because we're not the only ones doing it now either. But we're the people that can probably bring it to market as best as we can. And also, like, you know, Just Play, it's a private company. You can own a part of the Pixel protocol whenever you want, right?
Well said. Bars. There's underscore that one. That was good. Guys, is there anything that we didn't talk about that we should highlight or mention? Is there anything else kind of coming? I mean, you got Chubkins, you've got Pixels, you've got Stacked. You know, you guys are running, burning both ends of the candle, running million miles a minute here. So again, very exciting times. I love that you guys, you know, that's how I kind of feel as well. Just the markets, whatever, doing what it's going to do. But I'm like working as hard as I've ever worked and really excited about what I'm doing and what I'm working on. So that feels like what you guys are doing. Yeah. Did we cover everything? Was there anything else? I mean, very exciting, like updates and launches, in the very near future for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, we covered
It's
a lot.
busy.
If we didn't cover everything, we covered it in the AMA or your last week's. I don't know. You know, we haven't really held any information back.
Yeah.
About what Stacked is. Like I was producing content creator documentation, messaging, and like our announcements and like all of these things. And I had to send a bunch of documentation to Ronin because of course they're going to post about us, right? That's not a surprise. And I was like, what if this gets leaked? It's like, who cares? Like we've leaked it. We've been talking about this forever. And it at its core, what Luke said earlier, and it's funny because this is what I've been thinking and saying is Stacked is Pixels, Pixels is Stacked, right?
Like
This is really this, and that also includes, like, not to get gushy here, but like our community has been a part of this from day one, right? We learned all of this because we were building in public with our active community. A lot of those people have been around for years. Luke and I have been live streaming for 4 years straight every Wednesday. We've been hanging out with these people and they've been such a huge part of the Pixel ecosystem development, which includes obviously Pixel's core game and Stacked and Chubkins and whatever else we build in the future. So thank you to everyone who's been a part of this.
I mean, when you've got like incredible builders like the two of you guys who show up day after day, week after week, month after month, in country after country after country, it's hard not to root for you guys to support what you got going on. When you build great games and experiences like Pixels and now Stacked, I mean, I think that's really why so much of the Space Champions, you guys, I mean, I got in my onboarding into Pixels. You guys might know was Empress Rayon. She was playing Pixels every day, and she was DMing me like, "You got to use my link, join," and we joined. And she's like, "You got to go claim the crown and do this thing." And it's when like that's the best marketing or onboarding for games, right? It's your friends who are saying, you got to come play this game with me. So Luke, Heidi, thank you guys so much for jumping on. This was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm really excited about the problems that you guys are working on and the solutions that you guys are bringing to the table. We've been doing our best on Gaming Daily to cover and to support you guys and add to what you're doing. And we're going to continue that because, play to earn, rewarded play. Like we're going to figure this stuff out. And we're going to bring this technology forward, kicking and screaming, because someone has to. So I appreciate you guys so much for doing such the hard work. Because I just get to talk about it and post about it. You guys actually do the hard work. And it's really clear that not only are your hearts in it, but like your mind, heart, and soul is in it. And yeah, just appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. And the next time we talk, Stacked will be okay. Whoa.
It's late for Heidi.
Will be live. It is late. It's 11:30 now. Stacked will be live before you know it. So, well, I mean, it is live. It's kind of weird to say it will be live because it kind of already is live, but the website will be unlocked.
Very exciting. We can't wait. We're on pins and needles. Chloe's like, Luke's been yapping about Stacked nonstop for 4 months now. Give us the app. Guys, I'll let you jump off here. Thank you once again so much. I'm sure we'll talk very, very soon, and keep up the great work, guys. Really, you guys are beacons and pillars of this entire space, and yeah, very exciting to be along the journey with you guys.
Thanks so much for having us, man.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'll drop off the call here. We're gonna keep the stream going. So yeah, thank you, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Luke and Heidi, the incredible, the indelible. What's the word? There's a really nice compliment word there. Man, I can just listen to Luke talk and listen to Heidi talk. Like, I would keep them here for 2-3 hours if I could, but if I did, they would never come on my show again. Gigabrain, you get best of both worlds, right? You get Gigabrain hardcore in it, like from a scientific research formula algorithm, studying the math with Luke, and then you also get the game experience, UI, UX, community, like heart and soul with Heidi. And you know, you don't see too often in crypto gaming, like the two heads of the project, like pushing forward. And maybe that's been one of the issues that we've had. Like, it's just been like one person, and then, you know, it's too much on them. And so that power dynamic between that, like the power multiplier of Luke and Heidi is really cool. I'm excited, man. And I say all that because, like, I could double click into so much of what Luke was talking about. Like, I want to see, I want to dive into whatever, the white paper, the blog posts, like the articles, like, you know, the foundations of Stacked, because it's clear that they did their homework and did their research, and, you know, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense, because I had questions, right? We talked about it on stream. I had questions about, like, okay, interesting, like, why Stacked? And as you talk and learn more, you're like, oh, like, this is what you've been doing and building with Pixels and experiencing from, like, a, you know, problem standpoint, you know, of play to earn. You get the influx of players who are just there to earn, and that doesn't work. And, like, okay, how do we make this model work? And, okay, rewarded play can work, but it can't be this blanket approach to the ecosystem, which is what we've seen so much. And I like how Luke described it as rules based. I probably should have double clicked into that one, because that was really interesting. But it's also pretty, like, basic, right? It's like, yeah, it's rules, and there's limitations there. That was great, man. That was great. W Heidi, W Luke. They're awesome, man. So glad that we got to finally get that interview going. You guys, shout out to you, Chloe, Llama, Mesh, Subasa, Ice and Dark, Peyton with the YouTube comments, Angie. Appreciate all y'all being electric in the chat as always, keeping up the energy. You know what? We have to find a stream partner to, like, you know what? Oh, I know who it is. I got to talk to Jordan. Hold on. Let me write this down. I'm going to write this down. Talk to Jordan. Reply. I know what we need. I know we need. Burnt started a raid with 6 viewers. I don't have any memes. I don't have any like cool stuff to show. Burnt in the building. Let's go. What do I got? What do I got? Can I? Does that sound cool? Is that like a exciting thing? Yo, my first raid. Burnt. What up? What up? What up? I appreciate you, man. Yo, Dingle. Let's go. I appreciate you. Yeah. Also, yo, how about that VIP banner badge on Llama in the chat? That looks sick, dude. That looks pretty sick. Whatever you do, please don't stop streaming on X. It's where I download the VODs. LMAO. Dude, I'm not. Listen, streaming on X, outside of streaming on Blaze, is one of my favorite places to stream. It's like Twitch, Blaze, and X for me. Burnt, brother, thank you so much for the warm welcome. Thank you for my first raid on Blaze. It's such an honor, man. I'm hyped, dude. I love that. I didn't know we could raid on Blaze. I got to learn how to raid. This is my first like real official week streaming on Blaze. I've been loving it. I got to check out your content. Actually, W Burnt, man. W Burnt. Let's see what Burnt is up to. Let's check out my guy Burnt over here. How do I do this? X Burnt. I'm still learning the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, bear with me. We're learning the platform. We're new. Let's see. We got Burnt up here. Can I show the website? Oh, that doesn't work. Why didn't that work? Interesting. Let's see. My guy Burnt out here. Hit you with the follow. It's not going to show all that great on the stream. My guy, we'll pull up your Twitter. That'll show a bit better. W Burnt. Canadian family friendly gamer. Dad live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. Saturday, Sunday, 8 a.m. CST. Fortnite, Warzone, DayZ. W Burnt, man. Appreciate you, man. Good to meet you. We're all just a week in. Let's go. You love that. Llama said, I need the sick animations when people follow and subscribe, etc. Llama, I had them on my old PC and my old stream. I had my old stream not super, but like very optimized for streaming and those engagements. I need to get them back up and running. I agree with you. Thank you for the raid, Burnt. Really nice to meet you, man. Let's run this shit up, brother. Let's Blaze in the building, man. We're gonna run this thing up. Guys, go follow Burnt. Go follow Burnt on Blaze. Go support Burnt. Show some love. The boy Dev, how we doing, bro? We're doing amazing, man. We're doing amazing. We just had a banger interview with Heidi and Luke from the Pixels team. One of the best games building in our space. All this AI, and we can't fix the basic networking Wi-Fi issues still, for sure. Burnt's got to run. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the raid. Let's go. I think that we were kind of coming to the end of our stream, though, guys. We covered all of the news, and we talked about, we had an incredible interview. So that was awesome. Thank you guys for being awesome, bringing great energy, asking great questions, being super engaged. Tomorrow, we have our Blaze interview going live. We'll be having CG, crypto guy from the Blaze team, on the show, talking to him all about Blaze. Hey, the boy Dev with the subscription for the 1 month sub. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the sub. Yeah, so we'll have CG on from Blaze. Friday, we'll probably just have a chill stream. We are going to do an exclusive game night on Friday, I think at like 12 p.m. EST. I'm going to have some special guests exclusively on Blaze. We're going to be playing some games, and we're going to give away like $200. We're going to give away like $200 into the chat. So guys, like, you want to be there. Come check that out. But we'll also try and do some more like giveaways and stuff like that. We gotta make this stuff pop. We gotta make this shit pop. Okay. I think that's all I had to say. I'm still like, just digesting that whole interview, man. It was dope. Really excited about what they're building. Really excited about Stacked. Really honored to have Luke and Heidi on the stream. Doesn't feel like a bear. That's what I'm saying, Chloe. Like that's why we do this. We put in the work, man, and bring in the energy, and that's why I love the community, the stream, the vibes, and we're only gonna like turn it up, dude. We're only gonna turn it up. Like the whole process of scheduling the interviews and hosting them, it's really coming together. I already have all of next week booked. All of next week's interviews are booked. We're booking out 2 weeks in advance now. And I think the content is really good. I think the founders are really interesting. And we're just going to keep trying to bring more opportunities for you guys as well. Like you guys showing up and supporting is not lost on me. And so I think we're going to try and do some stuff, guys. Maybe with some Blaze, maybe with some YGG. But I appreciate like the real ones, who have been supporting, and Ice and Dark, Llama, Chloe, day ones. You're the new 2026 day ones, and I appreciate it. It's been awesome showing up on Blaze. Subasa with the 1 month sub means a lot, brother. Thank you. Cosmo, the boy dev, Burnt, John Galt, the whole Mind Goblin, the whole Blaze ecosystem is dope. I've been like really enjoying getting into there. All right, you know what we have to figure out? We have to figure out how to send the raid forward to somebody else. How do I do that? Do you guys know how to do that? Subasa? Cosmos? How do I raid somebody? Is it just like a command? Do I just like pay it forward? /raid, and then do I just put like their handle? Doffer is live. We can throw a raid to Doffer. Put together, and then do I have to put like channel name? All right, guys, I think I'm going to try and send the raid over to Doffer on Blaze. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. My name is Icy Gaming. We stream Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. This show is brought to you by our incredible sponsors that make this show possible. Today's sponsor, you guys know it. The mic died? Oh, no, you're nothing else. Shout out to Blaze, our beloved Blaze sponsor, man. The best streaming platform that is rocking with your boy, dude. $10,000 in subs, tips, and rewards for their Blaze-a-thon. Absolutely insane, man. They're blessing the streamers, blessing the community, blessing the economy. That's cool, man. I've been loving it on Blaze. We're already I think that we already hit our milestone for our achievements. I think that we're Blaze verified, boys. We got 48 followers. We streamed 11 hours and we got 28 subs, which has been amazing. You guys have been absolutely crushing it. And we're 5 away from, why can't I bring this over? That's so annoying. I'm so confused. I used to be able to like do more stuff with this. I'm so confused. Okay. Look how close we are to Blaze affiliate, dude. We need 20 more hours, which will hit like easily, I don't know, next week or the week after. And then just a few more unique chatters. And we out here, baby. We out here. Holla at your boy. We out here. I'm coming for that Blaze-a-thon, man. All right, guys. With that said, thank you, everyone on Blaze. Let's see if this works. And we'll see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Appreciate y'all. Yes. And if I'm doing this right, the raid is going to Doffer live on Blaze. which is great. GG's. Did it work? Let me go to his stream. We're still here, obviously. Oh yeah, you guys are there. Oh wait, no, that's my chat. What am I doing? Doffer. Yeah, raid, let's go. Follower only chat. I'm not even following. Let's freaking go. GG's. Dude, bringing me back to the raid days, man. The raid days. Love that, dude. Love that. Look at him. He's so happy. He's so happy. He's so happy. I love that. Shout out to him, bro. Shout out to him. W. I can't change this, so. He's playing off the grid, too, dude. He's playing a crypto game. Shout out to Doffer. He was in here yesterday, so WW. Llama, appreciate you showing love over there. That means a lot, man. That stuff is awesome. Super dope. Super dope. It's like it went through a portal. Yeah, dude. That's what. Yeah, dude. Got the raids going, bro, baby. Guys, much love. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully you enjoyed today's stream. Hopefully it was as electric for you as it was for me. And big day tomorrow. Big day Friday. We are working, boys. Boys, we are working. I am working my ass off right now. I'm loving it, but I'm also like, there's not enough hours in the day. But I wouldn't change it for anything, man. This is the best shit. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful rest of your day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name is Icy Gaming. This has been Gaming Daily Live. We will see you tomorrow. So until then, stay humble, stay hungry, go play some games, and keep dreaming because, that's what it's all about. You can't win if you don't play. Dream big. Keep clicking. Heidi said it. Peace, boys.
These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box. These are facts.
And what do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work
That
out?
doesn't even enter my consciousness.
It's only a matter of time before I'm